Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.
Everybody, welcome back to a quick beer review. Going back to Treehouse, courtesy of my man Kelly. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Dude, I'm stoked to check this beer out. This is the 10th anniversary edition of Juice Machine. I remember my first can of Juice Machine. It is crazy to think. Has that been 10 years? Holy smokes, we're getting old. We've also been on YouTube for way too long. I remember losing my mind over the original batch of Juice Machine. So, Treehouse, they're everywhere. Munson, Sandwich, Cape Cod, fucking New York. They have golf courses. It is insane what they have done since my first can of green way back when. But 8.2%, that's what Juice Machine typically is. But this says, to celebrate the 10th anniversary, they've added the best peacherine selections they could find. It says pelletized less than a month ago. But, so this was canned on, it says Happy 10 Years JM. Canned on April 18th. Today is May 17th. So we are right at a month in the can, which is probably perfect for this. I always loved drinking Treehouse beers at 3 to 4 weeks. And it's been sitting out for about 15 minutes. You can see the can is sweating. So hopefully this is about as good as it gets, right? I will say, when I first saw this getting released, I was like, this is obnoxious. Like a black and gold can. Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't care about stuff like that. Just make the beer be good. But, I mean, listen, when you got Treehouse money, you can make black and gold cans. So, we are using our Treehouse Juice Machine Tiku. I figured this was the properest of glassware. This glass was from Treehouse's 6th anniversary. My man Leo hooked that glass up, 4 years ago now, I guess. So, let's get into it, shall we? This beer looks like a Treehouse beer. It looks like juice. This looks like the original, like, Julius, I think. It's a little bit darker orange, but yeah, it's orange juice. And there's a good finger and a half, 2 fingers of fluffy bright white head. I don't like Tiku glasses anymore, but I wanted to use this glass because I figured it was proper. I've broken so many of these over the years. We always thought, I remember back in the day, I think that like Juice Machine was a combination of Green and Julius, maybe. I don't know if there was ever, like if anybody ever said what the actual hop bill of this is, or if that was true. I just remember that being a rumor back then. I feel like I've had all the iterations of Juice Machine. I've had like the original Juice Machine. I had Little Machine. We had like what was like the Imperial version of it, like Incredible Machine. I had Double Dry Hop Juice Machine. I've had a bunch of these. So I was always a big Juice Machine fan. So let's check this one out. Smell it. It smells really fucking good. This smells like it was probably super intense right when it was canned, but this feels like, I've smelled enough Treehouse beer that has age on it. This feels like it's probably, I mean, people say hitting its stride. I don't even know if that's a thing, but this smells really good and it smells extremely explosive. There's a ton of orange juice. It's super stone fruity, very peachy, nectarine-y. And it's got that awesome Treehouse bubblegum thing. There's a nice like white bready sweetness to it. But for 8.2%, that's insane what that smells like. This doesn't smell like booze. It doesn't smell hot. It doesn't smell like anything alcoholic. It smells super fucking juicy. I mean, this is reminding me of like old school Treehouse. Someone said that, I mean, I don't know if this is true either. Like, I feel like Treehouse has gotten to the point where like everything's just rumor and like legends at this point. But someone had said they were brewing special release beers back at their Munson location. I don't even know if that's a thing, but this reminds me of those days. Let's go ahead and taste it. Kelly, cheers. Appreciate you. This is crazy because this beer smells insanely juicy, but it does not taste insanely juicy. It tastes hoppy. How is that happening? This smells ridiculously like it's going to be smoothie like juice, and it's not. I'm not mad at it per se, but the taste definitely does not follow the nose with this. This is extremely pithy. I've talked about this with other people, and maybe there was another Treehouse beer that we drank that was like this. But this tastes almost like, I don't even know the best way to describe it without sounding ridiculous, but other people have said they've smelled and tasted this. When you drive past somewhere that's doing road work and you smell asphalt, not burnt rubber, but like that asphalt thing, this kind of has like that harshness on the middle of your tongue to the finish of that. There is plenty of stone fruit and citrus to this, but it's not juicy in the way that it smells. And it's almost like hop astringent on your tongue. I would guess that they used a shit ton of hops in this. I just think it's kind of over the top with that. If they could have dialed that harshness back, that astringency, that kind of asphalt thing that you're getting, if this tasted like what it smelled like, this would be one of the best Treehouse beers ever. I can't imagine what this tasted like super fresh. It had to have been crazy astringent and like almost hot burny probably, because at a month, it's still very intense like that. I just can't believe like how different it tastes from what this smells fucking unreal. It's crazy. But yeah, it's just like raw chewing on hot pellets. And the citrus that you're tasting is like very intense, pithy citrus. Like you're eating the peel of an orange or a grapefruit. And there's stone fruit there, but it's almost like to where you're, you know, like when you eat like towards the pith of a peach or a nectarine, it gets kind of bitter from the seed. It almost has that bitterness to it. That's a bummer, man. Like, I'm not like shitting on this beer by any means, but if it tasted like what this smelled like, it would be unbelievable, but it doesn't. Some of these super intensely hoppy Treehouse beers that I've had lately, like in the last year and a half, I just feel like it's overdone. I'm not sure why they got away from doing like the really like crazy intensely juicy stuff like they used to do, because that's what everyone really loved, I think. Maybe they're just kind of experimenting with things. I don't know. But it feels like it's too much. It's too intensely pithy. It's too intensely like hop saturated without bringing like the juicy notes that you're smelling to the flavor of that. I wish they could have done that, because this beer would be fire, but it's not. It's just, gosh, it smells so good. It's just, I don't know, it tastes raw. It's like raw hops. It's like chewing on hop pellets. It's very astringent on your tongue, very like hop burny, super bitter and super pithy. I just don't understand, like it's fucking with my brain, like how crazy that smells, but how it doesn't taste what it smells like. But I mean, listen, this isn't a terrible beer. It's just, I want it to taste like what it smells like, and it doesn't. So, and I've noticed that with these like special releases, I just think they're trying to make it so hoppy, that they're kind of losing their way in what like everyone fell in love with originally. It was that cool, like juicy fruit bubblegum yeasty thing with like just tons and tons of juice, and that's not this. Like it's fine. I enjoy hoppy hazy beers. That's like my wheelhouse these days, but there just needs to be more like juicy aspects to the taste of this beer to go along with all that crazy astringent like hop bite. So we'll leave it at that. Kelly, I appreciate you sharing this one. I've got a ton of Treehouse beer to drink, and there's another, I think, anniversary can that maybe will be different. We'll see. And there's some other beers that I've never had before, so looking forward to them. So that's the 10th anniversary of Juice Machine. Do you guys have this one? I'm sure this on Untappd is probably a 5. I think people will have hype kind of take over everything and rate this really, really high. We'll see. So that is it. Appreciate you guys watching. I will see you soon. Cheers.
Thank you for coming behind the bar, in the arcade, all that shit.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.